This is a wisdom moment. And in this wisdom moment, we share the wisdom of the fear of the Lord and shunning evil. You'll find out it's one of the best healthcare plans ever. As a matter of fact, many people today are wise in their own eyes, but the question we should be concerned with, are we wise in God's eyes? You're going to be inspired and encouraged. Enjoy. Be sure to subscribe and press alert to get new notifications of new success secrets made available on VFNtv. Today's wisdom moment. Today's wisdom moment is from Proverbs chapter 3, verse 7 through 8. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 7 through 8. This is what it reads. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and shun evil. This will bring health to your body and nourishment to your bones. Let me read that again. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 7 through 8. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and shun evil. This will bring health to your body and nourishment to your bones. Our wisdom moment for today looks like the best healthcare plan we possibly could have. We're finding out how to have good health. And the first thing we learn is about this progression and what we're learning in this wisdom moment in this proverb is don't be wise in your own eyes. You know, so many people just go, well, that's right. I could think of 2 or 3 people that are wise in their own eyes. But the truth is, so many people would testify with one hand raised up, swearing, while the other hand is on the Bible, that they're not wise in their own eyes. Yet working with them or walking with them is like wrestling at an MMA match. You know? I don't think of myself wise in my own eyes. It's like, I'm exhausted just walking with you, you know. They are constantly struggling with how others are leading them and questioning every single direction. Though this particular is the epitome of being wise in one's eyes, since it's driven by pride and fear, but they will fail to see it because pride blinds us. We're blinded by pride. We don't see that. When we're not wise in our own eyes, see, we're humble. We're open to counsel. We want to hear what somebody's got to say. Maybe there's a better way. We're seeking God. Maybe God's going to help us in this. And his leadership in our life and his leaders, we seek them out. And unquestioningly, we follow what God's saying because we know that, hey, I need them. I need them to be. So it's a part of not being wise in your own eyes. You're open for a multitude of counsel. And you're walking away in an understanding of that. We're so excited about our new book, I Will Fight, Strategies for Your Success. You got to have a strategy and you got to fight. It's not about a physical fight, but you got to fight. And guess what? If you fight, you win. You'll be successful. This book is about transforming your thoughts, about what your beliefs, the decisions that you're making, about speaking. What you say is so powerful, and what you do, what you're saying, your actions you take. And quitting, don't quit. Listen, success and failure quite often is just 5 more minutes. And finally, think about this. So many people talk about you should do this, and you should do this, and you should do this. And look what they're doing. They're not doing nothing. You can't let people tell you you should do this. As a matter of fact, they can't be putting their should on you. This is so important. Listen, we want to bless you with your free copy of I Will Fight, Strategies for Your Success. You can get it at VFNkb.com. That's VFNkb.com. Get your free copy today. So the first thing that we learn is we need to be humble. We need to humble ourselves to trust God and to keep us from all the evil that's taking place, even under an evil rule. You understand, God will protect us if we're not prideful and wise in our own eyes. Secondly, we find out is that we're to fear the Lord. The fear of the Lord is a progressive revelation. Though we may have much of the fear of the Lord in our life, there's still so much more to go. But our God enjoys and honors us maxing out what we have. He sees that and he honors it. And fearing the Lord is to be aware. Listen, we define the fear of the Lord. Let's try to define it. Let's try to grab it here. The fear of the Lord is to be aware of God, to be aware of him always, and to be aware of his commandments, his word, what his word says, and seeking to follow them with all of our heart, soul, mind, and strength. That's loving God, while being aware of his kindness and his sternness. Kindness for those who obey him, and sternness for those who don't. Mm-hmm. That's the fear of the Lord. The best way to kind of compare it is to understand the way of a child with his father, for example. He knows that his father loves him beyond any bounds, but also he knows his father has expectations and there's consequences for not following it. Mm-hmm. And If it doesn't happen, he knows, oh my goodness, something's about to happen. I'm fixing to be disciplined. Something's fixing to happen to me because I'm going to have to pay a consequence for not doing what dad or my father wanted me to do. All this is happening simultaneously while this child never doubts the love his father has for him, knowing that it's actually because his father loves him that he's actually giving him these boundaries and these consequences. That's a healthy understanding of what the fear of the Lord is. Like the fear a child has, a healthy fear of his parents or her parents, that the parent loves me, but also the parent is actually knows what's best for me under those conditions. The third thing that we learn is that we have to shun evil. We have to shun evil, he says in the Proverbs. Well, shun is defined as persistently avoiding, ignoring, or rejecting. It's something you have to do persistently. Evil is so present and seemingly everywhere, but it's God's expectation of us to shun it, that we're to persistently avoid it, ignore it, and to reject it. It's not something that we could just do once and we're done. Hey, back in 10 years ago, I shunned evil. Mm-hmm. It's something that you have to do daily. As a matter of fact, you may have to do it hourly in that day, but it's okay. It's not for us to be ashamed because evil exists. We didn't have anything to do with that. It's for us to realize it's there and to shun it, to ignore it, to persistently avoid it. And then we find out, what does God's word tell us about our lives and how we're supposed to live our life? Well, this is what he tells us. If we live our lives this way, what I just talked about, this is what happens to us. This is the benefit. This is the byproduct of what we get by following God. First is that what he spoke about, this is what that it actually literally brings health to our bodies. It just makes us healthy. It brings health to our bodies. So many people are constantly sick in their body because they constantly struggle with pride, being wise in their own eyes. They have no fear of the Lord, and they coexist among evil around them or even in them. And then it goes on and it says, listen, what I just spoke about earlier, brings nourishment to our bones. There's nothing like nourishment in the bones, nourished bones. For this is where, in the middle of your bones, where your cells are created, your red blood cells and all that kind of stuff. And your cells are what transports health to your whole body. When our bones are nourished, our whole body is nourished. Listen, the wisdom moment for today is Proverbs chapter 3, verse 7 through 8. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and shun evil. This will bring health to your body and nourishment to your bones. Be sure to subscribe and press alert to get new notifications of new success secrets made available on VFNtv. A lot of people want to abide with the Lord, but they just don't have a plan to do it. You can request that plan today at iabide.org. I'm your host, Greg Lancaster, and we're so glad that you've joined us. Don't forget you can join us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Download our app and sign up for our newsletter, The Torch, at VFNkb.com. I've enjoyed our time together. God bless.